everybody. Good morning.
Welcome to the Vineyard District and the Culinary View.
It is a gorgeous morning. We even had a rain. Wow.
And it's cooler. So nice.
It is. You could tell fall is in the air, and we have some wonderful things to celebrate. October is Texas Wine Month. And, it's worth celebrating it because yesterday was the end of harvest.
Yes.
And as a result of that, we are celebrating all month of October. Now comes the hard work. Now that all the grapes are in the house, now comes the miracle of winemaking. And Paul Anthony is going to help his father this year, and Sophia is going to help her father, and Paul Mitchell is going to do a fantastic job of continuing the legacy here at Messinahoff and the Bonarigo family traditions.
Amen. And we're so thankful to be able to share with you about sweet potatoes because this month's featured ingredient, which we're harvesting now, is sweet potato. And we thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about the holidays coming up because it's always a component of Thanksgiving and Christmas in our home. And there's so many other things that you can do with sweet potatoes besides baked sweet potatoes and marshmallows, which we always have. And mashed sweet potatoes are fun too. But we did a couple of interesting things to show you how sweet potatoes can, in fact, be the strongest flavor on the plate. And we're doing our wine pairings today with the sweet potato.
And speaking of plate, here's the plate.
Here's the plate.
Right.
And we have actually a sweet potato fruit salad on this side. And we have a barbecue baked sweet potato on the other side. And we're going to talk a little bit about that with the wines.
Here we go.
But I want you to please remember that you can go online at the vineyarddistrict.com under the Culinary View and read the article by Michael Verdreen about growing and harvesting sweet potatoes. There's a lot of great information there. And there's also recipe from the Vintage House. Chef Zeke put together an interesting new sweet potato recipe there. So there's a lot of information, and we hope you'll take the opportunity to check it out. Today we've got let's talk about the salad first because this is a sort of a fruit and cucumber and onion salad with just a very light a lemon vinaigrette. And in there I've included some baked and cinnamon dusted cubed sweet potatoes. So it adds that sweet potato flavor in there with a little bit of cinnamon, kind of a holiday, but it's still light and easy, and it's great with white wine. And we're doing today the Riesling, and we're also doing the sparkling brut with that.
Yes, the sparkling brut is a method champenois, a tradition nationale type of sparkling wine. This is fermented the second time in this bottle and disgorged, which means all of the sediment is removed from the sparkling wine. And then capped. And so it is a very, very sparkling, very crisp, clean flavor that goes so well with both of these, but particularly the salad. So it's our brut sparkling wine. And it's beautiful. You see it in the glass. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous wine. It's got great aroma.
It's pretty when the sun shines through it like that. Sparkles.
It's gorgeous.
Very nice.
And we're one of the few Texas wines that is making sparkling wine. And to do it in a method champenois, the traditional method, is even more special because some wineries will take a white wine and then carbonate it, which is the same thing that happens with Coca-Cola. That does not have the kind of richness and body and continuation of effervescence that a traditional method. And so we do the traditional method. It's 18 to 24 months on lees. So what happens is the longer the lees are in contact with the wine, the more infiltration of the CO2 with the wine itself. So that's the reason why it effervesces for a very, very long time, and it's really a lovely, lovely example. I mean, you can have this brut, and we did have this brut the other day with some fantastic French sparkling wines, and I mean, it was fantastic. And when you look at the price point of this sparkling wine compared to some of the price points that are coming out of Champagne, there is no comparison. I mean, it's quite amazing. So it's great quality and a great value.
And what a nice way to begin a family dinner, like at Thanksgiving, to have a toast of sparkling wine in celebration of the moment. Could be a celebration every morning.
Absolutely.
As well.
That's the way to start off a life, I can tell you. Now, the second one?
The second one is actually the baked potato, a sweet potato, with a tenderloin and barbecue sauce filling. And so it adds additional flavor weight. Keep in mind, the sweet potato doesn't have a lot of flavor by itself, but it adds a great deal of texture and a hint of sweetness to the flavor of the food. So in this case, the beef and the barbecue sauce is adding the flavor weight.
And that's the strongest flavor on the plate.
That's the strongest flavor on the plate. So we're pairing that with our GSM.
Looks fantastic. It tastes even better. It's amazing. And another suggestion with regard to white wine is something that's very traditional for the month of October, and that is Riesling. And this is the Tribute Series, Father and Son. It's the 22 vintage. It has a hint of sweetness to it, and it goes so well with things like vegetables and salads, as well as it even has enough weight to carry it with a barbecue sauce.
The sweetness is what happens with the barbecue sauce, because the barbecue sauce has a little bit of heat to it, and the sweetness actually masks that heat and brings out more of the flavor. The reason that we selected the Riesling and the sparkling Brut to go with the dishes is that the acidity in these two wines are more citric in character. And so we've done the lemon juice on the salad because it balances better with the acids in the white wines.
And the last but not least suggestion is the GSM. And the thing that's wonderful about GSM, we were with a lot of our friends from Barossa, which is a fantastic growing region in Australia. And they do a lot of GSM because they grow a lot of Grenache, a lot of Syrah, and a lot of Mourvedre, which is what this is. That's why it's called G, Grenache, Syrah, fantastic Syrah, and the M for Mourvedre. And this vintage is the 21 vintage, and it's highly dominated by Mourvedre, which is a little bit unusual in the fact that a lot of GSMs are dominated by the Syrah. But the 21 vintage of Mourvedre in Texas was exceptional, and Paul Mitchell decided to make the Mourvedre the dominant flavor. And the thing about Mourvedre that is so unique in the fact that Mourvedre has a earthy character. It has like a mushroom type aroma. Earth. I mean, you really get to experience the Texas terroir up on the high plains, which is unique in the fact that it's at 3,200 to 3,800 feet of elevation, a high elevated desert, and especially this year, which was the most incredible vintage of probably the last 10 years or even longer, in the fact that no rain whatsoever and intense capturing of aromas, colors in the skin, great flavor. 2023 will be outstanding. So the white wines from 2023 will probably hit the market maybe at Christmas time, maybe in January, and then the reds will hit the market in 2025. Typically, usually it takes about 18 months of processing, aging, then putting the wine in the bottle. And Messina Hop's philosophy is to bottle age the wines for 3 to 6 months before release. So that's another important feature, because then all of the aromas that you've created during the fermentation are collected in that bottle, so that when you open it, it says, "Please release me," and you get to enjoy the peak of its quality. So
that really is perfect, because remember, we always choose the wine first to make the wine sing we actually make the dish complement the wine. And so in your seasonings, you must taste the dish and the wine to make sure that they complement one another. And this is a real fun time of year too, because it's the end of the gardening season for the summer. So you're harvesting the end of the produce that's coming out of your garden to take that and mix it up, which is what we've done today. We had melons and cucumbers, we had sweet potatoes, and we created a nice salad that we've seasoned to go with the white wines that we serve today.
And our fall garden is blowing up. I mean, it's unbelievable. We have dozens and dozens of eggplant that are just about ready to be picked. We've got our tomatoes coming back out, which is amazing. We still have cantaloupes that are coming out of the garden. So it's a wonderful time, and this weekend we're going to be down as low as the 70s.
I know.
Whoa!
It's gonna be beautiful.
And that'll create even more growth in the garden. So we really want you to enjoy Texas wine. Be sure to look at your labels, and on our labels you'll see Texas High Plains, you'll see Messina Hoff Estates, and occasionally you'll see Texas on the label, and really support the wines that are produced from grapes made in the great state of Texas. We want to support our growers because we want more acreage of grapes going in to support all of the wineries that are coming on board. So on behalf of Merrill and I and all of our family at Messina Hoff, we want to wish you all the best and a very joyful holiday season.
God bless.